He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. You won't just start all the reading. I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning and welcome to Storytime. Thank you for being here. Happy Thursday. This week seems to just be flying by for me. I don't know how it is for you, but thank you so much for joining in. Another big welcome to Storytime this morning. A great story awaits, a classic, yes, multi-award winning story from two amazing creators. Yes, this one coming to you from Matt De La Pena and Christian Robinson, and we're talking about The Last Stop on Market Street. Welcome to Storytime and good morning to you. And this one we are reading with permission of PUTNA'M's Sons and imprint of Penguin Random House. A big thank you to them for allowing us to share this book on Storytime. And as you know, this will be a live reading only, but we're still happy to have you here on Storytime and share it with you. Good morning to you and welcome. Please let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you for this lovely, lovely story indeed, coming from Matt De La Pena and Christian Robinson. Good morning to you and welcome wherever you're joining us from today. Thank you for being here, and remember that you can find Storytime live here at 7 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube and Facebook, but you can also find us at 11 a.m. for the recording, and you can find us at storytimewithmrlimada.com and all the other platforms at Storytime with Mr. Limada. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well as our website. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad we're here together for another story. And of course, as you know, today is Cinco de Mayo. Yes, indeed. This was the celebration of the Mexican victory against the French. Thank you so much for joining in, and you can also look up more and read more about that and see how some of those battles went. And of course, it is wonderful to just recognize that. And I know that this is a big celebration in Mexico and in Mexican heritage, so we're here together to just honor that. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and I'm glad that you are here with us. Thank you indeed for being here. Last Stop on Market Street, coming right up from Matt De La Pena and Christian Robinson. So please stay tuned. As always, though, let us know you're here. Let us know how you are doing. Let us know how the weather is like where you are. Out here in Oakland today is cloudy. It is looking to be at a maximum heat of 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So not too hot out here in Oakland today. Just right, I think. And welcome. Let us know how you are doing, how it is where you are. It is cloudy right now. As you can see, there's no glare from the sun that I've been getting these last few days. It is all clear today. Thank you so much for joining in. Who is with us this morning, ready to enjoy a wonderful story? Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you, Amanda West, and of course, Sarah and Nathan. And they say good morning and happy Thursday. Thank you from a rainy and stormy Illinois. Oh my goodness. Sounds like perfect weather, though, for staying in and enjoying a beautiful story together. Thank you so much for joining in. We're excited to hear one of our favorite books again. The art in this is fantastic, isn't it? I couldn't agree with you more. It is just a wonderful and well deserving of the Caldecott honor indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and I'm glad you're here. Always a pleasure to have you here. Sarah and Nathan, and of course Amanda and Wes, thank you so much for joining us from out in rainy and stormy Illinois today. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you are doing well. I hope that your loved ones are doing well indeed. Sending you love, sending them love as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime and for always being such great members of our lovely community. Thank you for being here and welcome. Yes, we are reading Last Stop on Market Street. This one coming to you from Matt de la Pena and Christian Robinson. And as you can see, the many different awards that this book has won, well deserved. Thank you for being here. Get ready, get comfortable, get cozy. We are going to be starting with our story very shortly. Good morning to you as well, Terry McLeod Kasweka. How are you doing today? Indeed, good to see you back. Abraham, good morning to you. It has been a long time indeed, but of course you're always in our hearts. Thank you so much for being here. Happy to have you back too. Happy to have you back here on Storytime Live. Thank you for joining us. I hope that you've still been able to catch our stories, our recordings afterwards. So thank you for being here and welcome to Storytime on this cloudy day out here in Oakland. And I know I'm pretty sure San Leandro is similar today. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you, Terry McLeod Kasweka, and of course Abraham. Welcome back to Storytime Live. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you. Storytime is here, and we will be getting started with our story very shortly. But for now, let's sit back, and after this short break, we'll be back for our story. Join me on the other side. Good morning to you all, and welcome. All right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lydia Yamaguchi. I'm one of the co-founders of Storytime with Mr. Lamata way back in 2020. And I am so glad that you are here to enjoy this story today. We love being able to bring these stories to people all over the world. And we hope that you share this with someone that you love too. Before I go, I want to remind you to drink some water today, move your body in a way that feels good, be kind to yourself, and be kind to someone else too. Again, thank you so much for being here. We love it, and enjoy this story. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you, Lydia Yamaguchi. Yes, you see the many pictures you see and stuff going on in the background of Storytime. Lydia is responsible for that. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, let's be kind to ourselves and also be kind to others. All right. Last stop on Market Street. This one coming to you from Matt de la Pena and Christian Robinson. And of course, we're reading this one with permission of Putnam's, Sons, an imprint of Penguin Random House. I wanted to remove the sleeve, but then I realized that all the awards are on the sleeve and not on the inner page. So I will leave it there. The awards are well deserved. All right, here we go. Last stop on Market Street. This one, words by Matt de la Pena, pictures by Christian Robinson, and read with permission of publishers G.P. Putnam's, Sons, an imprint of Penguin Random House. And just a reminder that this book is live reading only, so we will be taking it down not too long after the viewings. Maybe at the end of the day today, it will be coming down. But for now, let's enjoy it. And this one is dedicated from Matt de la Pena to Luna and her two grandmothers, Ronnie and Grace. How about we also maybe dedicate it to our own grandparents, right? My grandma, Salia, this one's for you for sure. All right, here we go. And maybe all the other grandparent, like grandpeople, like in our lives. All right, CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. Oh. I'm familiar with that smell of fresh rain. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but never saw a straw. Oh. I feel like I skipped a page, did I? Of course I. Oh no, I did not. Yay. All right, here we go. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. Nana, how come we don't got a car? Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis who always has a trick for you. The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. We've got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis that always has a trick for you. What do we need a car for? The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. What's that I see? Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped, Nana hummed as she knit. How come we always gotta go here after church, CJ said. Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere. I feel sorry for those boys, she told him. They will never get a chance to meet Bobo or the sunglass man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat. CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. How come that man can't see? Boy, what do you know about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. That's a fact. Their noses too, the man said, sniffing at the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Oh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in the back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana set down her knitting. What for? You got the real life thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he will play us a song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. To feel the magic of the music, the blind man whispered, I like to close my eyes. Nana closed her eyes too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. You should try it next time you listen to music. Close your eyes and enjoy. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. Doesn't that sound like a good feeling? Oh, I love it. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called out. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around him again, at the bus rounding the corner, out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. I'm glad we came. He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, me too, CJ, me too. Now, come on. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And that is the end of our story today. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. So glad you're able to join me and enjoy this wonderful story indeed, coming to you from Matt De La Pena and Christian Robinson. And of course, we're reading this one with permission of GP Putnam's, an imprint of Penguin Random House. A big thank you to them for allowing us to read this wonderful book here on Storytime. Welcome to Storytime. If you missed this reading, please be sure to join us at 11 a.m. Pacific time, or indeed go to our archives and enjoy this wonderful story for as long as it is up there on our platforms. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining in. I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope that you go through this day looking out, finding the beauty in everything that you do, finding a beauty in all those places that you never thought to look today. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Such a wonderful book, a wonderful reminder indeed, and I always appreciate that book. It is lovely. The art is beautiful. beautiful. The words are wonderful, and just so much great advice in there too. Thank you for being here with us, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I know it is a favorite of many people. I hope that you enjoyed this one, and we will of course be bringing it back to story time very, very soon again. It won't be a year this time before it comes back. But from one Caldecott honor book to another, and tomorrow we bring you this, one of the latest, the 2022 Caldecott honor books, and this one is called Have You Ever Seen a Flower? Have You Really? This one coming to you from Sean Harris, written and illustrated by Sean Harris, and of course will be read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. So please do join in for this one. Have You Ever Seen a Flower? Coming to you from Sean Harris. For today, we have been reading Last Stop on Market Street, but it is not our last stop for today on Storytime. We'll be back again this week. We'll be back again tomorrow with Have You Ever Seen a Flower? Thank you for being here. Always a pleasure to be here with you. And indeed, please send your recommendations. Keep sending them so that we can bring them here to Storytime for you and we can get to enjoy them together. Absolutely appreciate every opportunity we get. Much love and hugs to all of you and all the different things that have been happening this week. As May has begun, we had May Day, we've also, had Eid, and now we're talking Cinco de Mayo and many things to come. Please, I hope that you have a wonderful day. Enjoy responsibly out there, be safe, and of course, remember to say hello, just like CJ and his grandma were doing. Say hello to your neighbors, say hello to people you meet, and move on along. Thank you so much. Your smile could be the difference in someone's life today. Thank you for being here. Always a pleasure to be here with you. I hope that you have a lovely day. One more time, Sarah and Nathan, thank you for joining us. I hope that was the perfect story for rainy and stormy Illinois today. Thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. Appreciate you. Amanda West, I hope that you have a lovely day out there in Illinois. Thank you for joining us. And of course, great to see you back here on Storytime, Abraham. And of course, Terry McLeod-Kasweka, thank you for being here on Storytime. Good to see you back. I hope that you have a lovely day indeed. And of course, remember to look around, look up, look everywhere and see, search, find that beauty that is around you. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. We'll be back and we'll see you again for more Storytime tomorrow. Yes, God willing, we're back same time, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And this time we will be reading this wonderful book coming to you from Sean Harris. And this one is called Have You Ever Seen a Flower? That will round up our Friday, but many more stories to come next week. Thank you for being here for Storytime. This has been Storytime. I hope that you have a lovely day indeed. Much love from me, and I'll see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Bye-bye.
Storytime with Mr. Lumada, where all your dreams come true. He brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be